Hello there, welcome back. Today I'm going to talk about two films. My Name is Dolemite and Black Dynamite. These are two films about the exploitation or the blaxploitation era in the 70s, but neither of them are blaxploitation movies. My Name is Dolemite is a biography of Rudy Ray Moore, who was stabbed in quite a few of these films, and Black Dynamite is a parody, a full-on parody. There have been other parodies, but Black Dynamite is the best one. By a mile, it's the one that really works. But I think that we're both interested to talk about. Can you talk about blaxploitation before having to go into all the films? And these two films show the different sides of it, really. So, My Name is Dolemite, I'll start with. That's a more recent film, but it actually looks at how these films were made. And it stars Eddie Murphy, and it's written by the guys who wrote Ed Wood. So there's that kind of feeling of scrappy filmmaker trying to make good, and what the compromises he has to make, and he's surrounded by a bunch of pals who are also into his thing, but he's the one with the dream, he's the one who really wants to see it done. And the reality is, he's just this guy, he's this failed middle-aged guy who has not done much with his life. He sings at local spots, he tells jokes, and he works in a record shop, but his life's very compromised, and he's not doing what he wants to do, and he hasn't found a way to actually break through. It's like he gets paid very little and he doesn't get any respect for his act, so he has to work for a day job, and he's finding that very, very difficult, really. But in that early section you get to see how the whole, the industry works before he broke through, and you get to see how people lived in that era and what they did to survive in the entertainment business. So it's quite interesting to see how they survived, which was get a day job and do your thing at night and hope for the best. So at a certain point he starts talking to these like hobos who are always drunk, who always got all these weird sayings of all these. They come from an older generation, which is much more flowery in language, much more colourful in how they express themselves, and how they love language. It's very boastful, but it's very amusing at the same time. It's very self-aware and self-mocking, but also is very proud and very mocking of other people too. So it's a certain language that is very blue-collar and very rude, but it will offend the sensibilities of the middle classes, because this is not good stuff, this is disgusting to them. So Rudy Ray Moore actually sees this and thinks, this is a new thing, this is really good for me. I mean, this is a time of like a Richard Pryor, who was breaking through there as well, but he was doing it in a different way. He was already established as a comedian before he became a comedian who was very controversial. Here's a guy who never was a big comedian. So he does this and he starts to push through. So he learns all these things, all these kind of ways of speaking from the hobos, and starts to put into his act, and he makes a comedy record. He becomes successful in the clubs even though people don't like it. It becomes a comedy record which he sells in the back of his car because no one will stock it in every record shop because it's too rude. But he's doing well, and he starts to get gigs around town doing this act, this Dolemite act really, and even though he's still like middle-aged and a bit overweight, but he still managed to pull it off because he's got the swagger. So this continues for a while. He starts to make some friends, he works around with his friends, and then at some point he goes to see a movie, the front page, made by Billy Wilder, and he wonders why is everyone laughing at it, because it's not funny, because front page is not that good a film. They remake the Jack Lemmon one, it's not that good. It's pretty much Wilder's like one of his worst films. I think even Wilder doesn't like this one. And he's like, well, I can make something better than that. Well, he definitely makes something more entertaining than that. So he gets his friends together to make a movie. And he goes around different places asking them for funding, and shows that his records are doing well. He wants to make a movie, and he's writing a movie with his local playwright. And no one's interested, so he has to finance it himself. On his record deals he's managed to get for his records, and it's like an advance for his record deals. But so it basically means if the film doesn't do well, he'll be in hawk for these record deals forever. So the film has to work. So even though they don't have any clue how to make a film, they start making a film. They bring in Wesley Snipes as a snobbish director who has played bit parts in different Hollywood movies, and he thinks way too much of himself, and Wesley Snipes is hilarious in this. And they start making the film, and there's lots of making of jokes that are really funny. Just the whole idea of how Rudy Ray Moore is not an action movie. He can barely kick, and he's doing an action movie. He's got a gut, and he's doing an action movie. And the whole idea is like the illusion of this guy, but also the sincerity. He just wants to make this movie, and he makes it and no one cares. Like, no one cares. So it looks like he's going to take a bath in this investment. He could be in hawked his record company. And then at a certain point he realises when he's doing a tour on the road after he's made the movie, people ask him, when's the movie coming out? And he's like, well, it's done. And so they arrange a screening at a local theatre, and people come along, and he realises, yeah, people want to see this film. They just have to distribute it himself and do the work himself, and he'll get money in for it. So he does that, and then eventually people come around to actually want to distribute his movie. And a chain. And that's basically the story, is this first movie, Dolemite. And it's how it got made, and how it got distributed, and how he managed to, despite all the problems, he managed to get it made. And it's a very sweet-natured film. It doesn't ignore the fact that his act's very raunchy, but it gives Eddie Murphy a really good part. He's playing someone who is a loser, a nobody, a guy who feels he's missed his chance, who finds a second chance, and embraces it. And he just wants to make his movie. That's it. He doesn't care about good taste. He wants to make a movie that his friends can see and enjoy. The film might be very rough around the edges. He knows he doesn't know that much about filmmaking, but he just wants to make it. There's that joy of filmmaking that comes through. And that's what's really good about it. And it's also what's really good if you watch some of these, especially the early ones, the blaxploitation movies, before it got cynical and became a mass production line. They were just making movies. They were just people, professionals, and low budgets making movies. Some were good, some were bad, but they were all working for a living. And there's a lot of nice energy there that you wouldn't get from more mainstream films, which were much colder and, you know, unless in the mainstream films there was a director wanting to make the film, all the time it was going to be pretty cold. And these films, a lot of the early ones had some really nice energy to them. The actors seemed to be enjoying themselves even though they weren't getting paid that much. And that's what the film brings through, just this enjoyment of making a film, even if the film itself is just kind of pulpy, trashy movie, absurd movie, but it's still kind of wonderful. But with the Wesley Snipes character, you see the more professional side, who looks down on all that stuff. He gets mocked pretty badly, but Wesley Snipes is having a ball in this, and so is Eddie Murphy. He's just having so much fun in this film. He doesn't try and imitate Rudy Ray Moore. People expected he's going to imitate him, but he actually makes a character part him, part Rudy Ray Moore, and it actually works better because it's a part of the story rather than an imitation of somebody that would have made it a bit too distancing. So they make the right moves, and it's just wonderful. It's a beautiful film. Now we're going to Black Dynamite, which is the parody. This was made like 2010, and I think it's in cartoons since then. It just came out, I don't think it did that well, but it did okay, and it's a lot of word of mouth since then. It's a film you find in video or on streaming, and like, what's this? And you watch it, and it's hilarious because it knows the films, and it doesn't have any delusions about some of the politics of the film, some of the sexual politics, some of the absurdities of the race issue, which, like it knows, because it's about films made by black people, about black people, they don't try and make every black person a saint, but they do make all the white people like villains, which is hilarious. It's just so much fun. As a white person, it's so much fun seeing just the white men become whitey and are just utter scumbags. It's very enjoyable, you know. But the film knows that all this stuff is kind of simplistic, but it's also coming out of a time of civil rights movement where people are fed up, black people are fed up of being treated badly, so they needed a black hero. So you had people like Shaft, the characters like Shaft, and all these like Pam Grier characters who are empowered women. You'd all these kind of black actors who come out and actually were real heroes to the community, but also were making film after film, and were being successful at it for a time. And this film just parodies that. I mean, it goes for the male superhero, black superhero type of thing, where he can do kung fu, he can beat anyone up, he's a big afro, he's very muscular, all the women love him, and it's just great fun. Michael J. White plays Black Dynamite, who usually plays a very kind of, stoic character. He usually plays these kind of one-note heroes, and then finally he's allowed to let loose in this character and have some fun with it, and they loosen him up, and it just suddenly, he works as a actor now in a lot better way, just because they let him be funny rather than be stoic. And he works really well because he knows stoic. He's done stoic for so long, he knows how to set it up. And so there's it's just so funny, and there's so many jokes that they keep coming at you. So if one misses, another one coming straight away after it, so it's going to be fine. Plus all the period recreations are great, and all the characters are great. And there's lots of funny jokes, like all the mob bosses get together as they feel that they're getting, what do you do with Black Dynamite, and what do you do with the Whitey? And Black Dynamite's like, if any of you sell drugs, I'm going to get you. And one of the drug dealers goes, well, I sell drugs, what are you going to do? Are you going to get me? And he looks scared. It's just so funny. And there's a great conspiracy scene where they start with fried chicken. At least this conspiracy theory that's so absurd, but it leads to the actual villain, which is a wonderful send-up of the weird logic they have. And you've seen with Black Dynamite as a child with a very gruff voice, and you've also got stuff like the microphone coming down a little bit too much, and Richard Nixon's obviously the villain. He's the man. He's trying to develop this strength that will make black men's penises go very small. So it's a send-up of masculinity in the black community, of how they've so inflated their penis size, in their minds. So it's a send-up. It sends up everybody. I mean, every white person in the film is total scumbag, which is great. Again, it's great fun. And you get the he's so unknowingly sexist, Black Dynamite. Like, he's all these women all around him all the time, and all these like brothels and stuff, and he has to actually deal with women who actually don't buy any of this crap from him, and having to be respectful. And there's a shit in a donut shop, which is great. It's just non-stop. I'm not even getting to the bottom of any of the jokes. Most of the jokes are very period specific and are wonderful. I'm trying not to give you tons of the jokes. I'm trying to say it's a little sample for what's coming, but it's just great fun. It's just so much fun, and it's so annoying, but it's also so affectionate towards this old-fashioned movie that was a period of a time where some of the values were a bit old-fashioned and a bit sexist, but also there was also a civil rights element to it, where they were showing black heroes in a world where it was basically white, lots of white heroes. So there was like a progressive element to it, but there's also stuff there that needed to be sorted, and it sends up that, but also acknowledges the other stuff, but also sends up the absurdities of the kind of super black man myth of the 70s. So it's a wonderful film. Like, I can't see anyone getting offended with this film unless you're really sensitive, because it sends up everybody. Everybody gets it. And nobody gets out as anything other than a joke by the end of it, but it's a very kind-hearted joke. Like, it loves all the characters, it enjoys the characters, and it's sending everyone up, but it's not mean-spirited about any of it. So it's just wonderful. So I'd highly recommend it. See Black Dynamite. It's a lot of fun. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll be back soon with another one, but this is my little blaxploitation video. Right, bye for now.